Pre-Algebra, Mr. Lawrence here with your flipped lesson for February 23rd. And today we are going to talk about surface area, but we're going to do it about cylinders. We're doing surface area with cylinders. Cylinders. All right. Now, with the other shapes, like when we had, I wish I had 3D shapes on here, but that's okay. I probably do somewhere. If we have, say, a rectangular prism like this, right, we would break that shape up. Kind of looks like a cube. Can't guarantee it's a cube, but it looks like one. We break it up into its different shapes, right? Like, for example, if I gave you the measurements as 6 inches, 7 inches, and 8 inches, and you were going to draw the rectangles, well, you would definitely need an 8 by 7 rectangle, and actually you'd need 2 of those, wouldn't you? Right? Okay. So there'd be 2 of those, and the area would be 56 inches squared for both of them, because they are congruent. Okay, and then you would need definitely 6 by 7 rectangle, but again, you'd need 2 of those. The parallel ones would be congruent, right? And their areas would be 42 inches squared. 42 inches squared, right? We're just doing a little review here. And then there would be one more set of rectangles, because a box has 6 faces, and this set would be, what, 6 by 8. So 6 by 8, and again, there'd be 2 of them. All right, and the areas there would be 48 inches squared and 48 inches squared. And then to figure out the surface area of the box, you would take all the numbers and you could add them up. That is one good way to do it. There's lots of good ways. That's one of them. All right, 48, 48. Looks like here I have 20. There's 12, so that's 32. 3, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 16, 10, 26, 29. 29 2 inches squared, right? But how do you do it with a cylinder? Let's see. Let me draw a cylinder. I think I'll just go ahead and draw it. All right. I'm going to have a circle, and then I'm going to clone that circle. All right. And then I'm going to connect these. Okay, now we're going to need some information. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that the distance, and I'll do it in a different color here, the distance from here to here, actually not a different color, a different style, that is going to be, say, 18 inches. Okay, and then this distance here, the height of the cylinder, we'll make that 32 inches. Okay. Well, to do the volume would be easy. You'd find the area of the circle and you multiply by how tall it is. Okay, but to do surface area, you might first want to do a flat network. And I know right off the bat, some of you are going to go, well, Mr. Lawrence, I know there's 2 circles there. All right. But those 2 circles, they're not touching each other. There's something in the middle. Now, do me a small favor here. Pick up a piece of paper. It can be any, a sheet of notebook paper. It can be something from the homework. And hold it in front of you. Okay. I would hold it so that it is longer than it is tall. Okay. And then roll it so that the 2 edges of the paper come together. You just made the body of a cylinder, didn't you? The body of a cylinder. What that really means is that this middle part here is a rectangle in disguise. Yeah, the body of the cylinder is a rectangle in disguise. Now, I know you know how to get the area of a rectangle, but you've got to be careful because the rectangle is rolled. And so if I start here at the rectangle and I want to know how wide it is, I'm going to travel in this circle, right? So to get the width of the rectangle, I'm going to use the circumference. I'm going to use the circumference. Now remember, to find circumference, we do pi times diameter, right? So we're going to need the radius of these circles, and the diameter is 18 inches, so therefore the radius is 9 inches. Okay, and that'll be the same there, 9 inches. And remember that the area of a circle is found by pi r squared. So we're going to use that formula and get the areas. But then to do the rectangle, the body of the cylinder, it's base times height. But we have to be careful. The height is the height of the cylinder, but the base is actually the circumference of the circle. Okay, so I'm going to label it. This is still 32 inches. But this part right here, this part is circumference, pi times diameter. So I'm going to take 3.14, my approximation for pi, and multiply by 18. That'll allow me to get the area. All right, so let's do that part first. I'm going to do the area of my rectangle, and so I'm going to take 3.14. I'm going to multiply it by 18, and I'm going to multiply by the height, which I believe is 32 inches. I'll take just a second to do that. Okay, so I end up with the area of the rectangle. In fact, I'm going to do this in a different color. The area of the rectangle is going to equal 1,808 and 64 inches squared. All right, so that's the body, 1,808 and 64 inches squared. All right, well now I'll do the area of the circle, and that will be 3.14, and I'll multiply by the radius squared. And so 3.14 times 81 ends up being 254 and 34 inches squared. So this part here is 254.34, 254 and 34 hundredths. So I'm going to add those blue ones up. And that means the surface area is 2,317 and 32 hundredths inches squared. And there you go. It's that simple. All right, let's look at one more, and we'll see if you can do it on your own, and then in class tomorrow you'll get some practice doing it. All right, so let's say we have a cylinder this time going this way, and we know that this distance is 4 meters, and then it's laying down like this. And we know that this is 15 meters, okay? You can go ahead and pause the video, see if you can calculate the surface area of this cylinder, all right? If you've unpaused the video, I'm assuming you want to see my work. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my flat network for my cylinder. I know that I have a circle, a rectangle in disguise, and then another circle. I do know the radii of my circle, which is 4 meters, I believe, right? I know this would also be 4 meters. I know the height of the cylinder is 15 meters. And then I need to figure out this side here, which is my circumference. That equals pi times diameter, which will be 3.14 times the diameter, which is going to be 8. Where did I get the 8 from? I only know the radius. Diameter is double the radius. All right, so I'm going to figure out the areas and then write them in. Okay, there's my work over to the left. I'm going to do 3.14 times 4 squared, which ends up, oh no, I'm not in right mode, 50 and 24 hundredths meters squared. And remember, that is the area of this circle and it is also the area of that circle. They are congruent. Okay? Now I need to do the area of a rectangle, the body of the cylinder, and that comes out to be 376 and 8/10 meters squared. And that is the body, and I'll put that there. So now I'm going to take a 50 2400ths and a 50 2400ths and a 376 and 8/10, and I'll put a 0 on the end to hold my place. Notice I'm very anal about how I line things up. My decimal points are lined up. When I have an extra spot, I put a 0 in its place. So I'm going to get an 8, so I'm going to get 10, 12. I'm going to carry a 1. I'm going to get a 7. No carrying there, 17. I'll carry a 1, and I'll get 4. So the answer is going to be, for the surface area of this cylinder, 477 and 28/100 meters squared. Okay, if this was a can of pop, it'd be the amount of aluminum it takes to make the can. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off, saying good night, everybody.